Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 54. As expected, we are going to keep working on the farms, since we managed to finish the roads in the central area. And that is pretty much the main thing we will spend our time on. But, I will finally manage to remember that we have some oil waiting for us near Estergrad, which will hopefully help us manage our current fuel shortage. We will need to be careful with this one, since only helicopters can reach that oil field, and they are the main reason why we are having these issues in the first place. So, let's see how we manage. I left you with a small cliffhanger in the last one. So, let's finish that last piece of driveway. And with that, all of the main buildings are accessible by road, and every available construction capacity is focused on this place. But we also need to continue building the roads around the fields. We need them to be at least gravel, so our trucks can drive at somewhat sensible speeds. The farming machines won't benefit too much, but the trucks will. And you know what, we might as well set these buildings to high priority. This is what we will do mostly, by the way. One road segment finishes, and we add the next ones in line, and set them to notify us when they are complete. Those pieces at the end of the branches will be just set to finish whenever they are able. Those are way less important to the functioning of the farms. Now, let's take a look at these oil wells. They've been sitting there for quite a while, and since we are suffering from fuel shortages, it is about time we got them built. Well, after we paid our respects to the farm field roads. If I remember correctly, all these wells were placed to have at least 50% yield. And since I don't want to bother building pump jacks that will barely give us anything, I didn't worry about exploiting those few remaining patches. There was one place where I got a good enough percentage, but to take advantage of that one, we would need to build extra pumping stations, so let's just leave it. Also, since this place was south of Ramosov, and is basically the same industry, I just named the area Ramosov South. I did tell the choppers to get to work, but I kind of knew that they will only do some of it, since they have no access to the foundation materials. But they should still be able to bring in the steel needed for the pipes. As for hooking things up to the refinery, we need one more liquid pump. All the inlets are used up already. There was one on the refinery itself, but I would much rather have the oil go through the storage tank first. Plus that was too far away for a direct connection anyway, so we needed a pump either way. For this, I only told the Kirkomov offices to work on it. No need to burden the choppers any more than necessary. Now, let's see if we can reach that pump on top of the hill. And we got lucky. We are in range. And it seems the choppers are indeed able to bring in some of the structural materials. We will need to do something about the foundations though. Alright, let's take care of it. We need to re-enable access to gravel, concrete, and asphalt for the helicopters. And in a way that they will only work on the oil field. I just remove everything unnecessary from their assignment lists. Maybe not the cable towers from the new city. Those are also accessible by choppers, so might as well leave them in. They are only medium priority anyway. But everything else, those will need to go. I was still careful to make sure I don't unassign anything that might be important, so the first office took a bit of time to go through. Yeah, this will do I think. I wanted to give carpal tunnel a bit of a rest, so I'll deal with the other offices in a second. But, at this point we can safely reassign the materials to this office. And we can continue building the roads at the farm. Nice, the first silo is complete. And it seems some of the distribution offices too. Okay, I think my hands are ready for the next round of clicking session. Let's deal with the next office. There. All the helicopters should be able to deliver the foundation materials now. Next, we still need to take care of the power in the area. No point building all this if they cannot do any actual work. As for where we will get that power, I just went with the border connection. Selling power isn't exactly our main source of income anyway, so I don't mind doing this. Of course we have issues connecting things. Let me figure this out real quick. Could be worse, I guess. Of course, since these cables are also not reachable by road, they will also need to be built by helicopters. Nice, more and more buildings are finishing up at the farm. Might as well start buying the vehicles for them. And it seems we also have power. I'll set the fuel deliveries in a second, but I really wanted to make sure the oil wells are being taken care of. Another office built, another set of trucks ordered. And since we already have power, time to start delivering the fuel too. Okay, this is getting a bit too annoying at this point. Another chopper left with nothing on board. The problem is that the ones bringing in the foreign workers are way too bunched together. Since there is no spacing option for them, we need to do it by hand. I guess we can tell one of them to turn around as they leave for the border. That should help a little. The timing still isn't quite right. Let's adjust it a little more. Wait, is that excavator coming in on its own? I must have forgotten to set some of the offices to only deliver machines by truck. Yep, indeed I did. I should really send the machines from that office to the helipads. It's always nice to see a long stretch being added to the queue. Knocking out one of those take a big chunk out of the remaining work. The steel structure on the train bridges are coming along nicely. I suspect we will see the tracks being laid today. It's interesting how the offices that were added last were finished before two that were added way earlier. But it won't be long now before we can start using this farm. Well, it seems the paving on the highway is done. We might as well take care of the one-way designations now. But only after the nodes are taken care of. Alright, we have a nice long stretch of road, ready for those arrows. I was about to do this segment too, but we still need to finish that small fix we did in the last episode. At this rate, this farm will finish before those distribution offices will. Okay, seriously. As if we didn't have enough trouble with fuel, now the tank storing the stuff is on fire. And I took a glimpse of the fill level, and yeah, it was extremely low. Given how well staffed the refinery is, this is absolutely down to the amount of oil coming into it. The sooner we finish the new pump jacks the better. And the steel trusses on the bridge manage to finish building just as we drive by. Good timing. The next phase will be the tracks themselves, and then the catenaries. Hooray, the road fix is finished. We can set the one-way arrows at last. Due to the traffic, one node will not be removed. Not much I can do about it right now. Maybe once we have fewer vehicles running around. And with that, the entire stretch of the highway is set to be one way. Well, at least the parts that are paved. and the tracks are already being laid on the bridges. We just might manage to finish things by the time the first harvest comes in. I wonder what's holding things up at the pump jacks. Mechanical parts? Don't we have plenty of those? Apparently not. Must have managed to stop the supply lines somewhere along the way. Let's fix that real quick. The warehouse is set up correctly. The problem must be at the border. Yep. The components are not set to be purchased. Good thing that if we set them together while paused, then the train going to pick them up will do it all at once, instead of doing it in 2 separate deliveries. Oh yeah, this will be plenty enough to finish building the pump jacks. Also, this zoomed out follow camera is quite nice for some sweeping cinematic scenes. Well, as long as we aren't being dragged through a small forest. If we carefully adjust the zoom, it's not too bad. Okay, once these components are dropped off, we should see the helicopters spring to life. And indeed they do. Time to finish building that oil field. Oh right. Almost forgot about the cables. They need components too, just the electrical kind. And the farm roads are also coming along nicely. Most of them are finished, so by the time the buildings are done, we might be able to assign most of the fields. And speaking of, the first farm is about to be completed. I am kind of dubious about the bus's ability to reach some of the road segments at the end of the farms. I guess we will see if those manage to finish. I'm really worried about the fuel now. We are so close to finishing the oil extraction, so we just might make it. To cap things for today, how about we buy the farming machinery for the first farm? I also made sure to unassign any fields currently added to it too. We have 2 of these buildings, so I would like to split the entire area between them equally. Now, the tractors. We had 2 choices really. Either the U650, or the ZT6911. One had better work speed, but was slower while driving, but the other had a slightly better road speed, but was working slower. Given the distances, I went with the U650, since those can reach the fields ever so slightly faster than the other one. But for harvesters, it was a no-brainer. The E512 is the way to go. And this is it for today. We managed to finish most of the farm in this video, so only a couple small additions will need to be sorted out in the next episode. I was secretly hoping we would be able to finish everything today, but deep down I knew it wouldn't be the case. The distances are simply too great. Which is a great lesson for Season 3. We need to build construction hubs more often. But here our hands were forced by the geography a little, so at least I have some excuse. I've also been looking at Reddit posts lately. There are some posts there that showcase some amazingly well laid out cities, and I've been trying to learn from them. I'm pretty happy with the way I build industries, but I know that city planning is a big weakness of my playstyle. I would like to improve that going forward, so I've been studying some of the more talented creators there. I try my best not to plagiarize anything outright. I'm more interested in getting some inspiration. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, then leaving a like and subscribing to the channel just might motivate me to make more. If you are more in the donating mood, you can find a link to my Ko-fi page in the description, where you can buy me a glass of water. I don't really drink coffee. Thank you for your support, and until next time, I will see you later.